You step through the door, and for half a second, everything feels fine. Then it hits. The temperature of the room, the sound of voices overlapping, the subtle pause as someone glances up, not at you, just around. And suddenly your awareness turns inward. You feel your clothes against your skin. That shirt, it felt right at home, but now you wonder if it's too fitted, too loose, too loud, too plain. You become aware of your scent, not because there's a smell, but because there could be. You take a shallow breath in and think, did I hug someone already? Was that weird? Your shoes feel heavier than usual. You notice the way you're standing, 1 foot slightly forward, hands unsure where to go. Your body language feels edited, like you're watching yourself from the outside. Your hair, you touched it 5 minutes ago, but now you imagine mirrors that don't exist, angles you can't see. And then your mind speeds up. Who do I talk to first? What if I interrupt? What if I stand alone too long? What if I say something stupid? Every moment feels amplified. Every second stretches. It feels like you've stepped onto a stage and missed the rehearsal. And deep down, there's an unspoken belief forming. They're all looking at me. That's normal, right? That feeling is not weakness, it's not insecurity, it's not something wrong with you. It's human, and nearly everyone in that room, yes, even the confident ones, have felt it too. It's called the spotlight effect, and once you truly understand it, it loses its power over you. The spotlight effect is the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice and evaluate you. Your appearance, your words, your mistakes, your awkward moments. Your brain assumes you are standing beneath a spotlight. But the spotlight exists only in your mind. Why? Because consciousness is first person. You experience your thoughts, emotions, sensations at full volume. So your mind assumes others experience you in the same way. They don't. They experience themselves at full volume. Now, this isn't ego in the narcissistic sense. It's perceptual ego. You are the center of your experience. So your brain defaults to thinking you're central to everyone else's. It's not arrogance, it's architecture. Psychologists asked participants to wear an embarrassing t-shirt into a room. Then they asked how many people noticed. Participants guessed more than half, and in reality it was less than a quarter that noticed at all. And those who did forgot almost immediately. Here's the key insight: even when people do notice, they rarely care. Think of the human mind like a constantly refreshing newsfeed. Your feed is filled with your thoughts, your feelings, your worries, your self-image. Other people don't subscribe to your feed. They're scrolling their own. You might appear briefly, like a passing headline. Then you're gone. Your mistakes can feel huge because you replay them. You loop conversations, you rehear your tone, you re-edit your words. But others don't replay you. They move on. They move on to what they should have said, how they looked, what they're worried about next. You live inside the echo. They don't. So think back 1 year. Someone you know, not close, not distant. What embarrassing thing did they do? You're probably struggling, and that's exactly the point. Now ask yourself, why would your moments be immortal when theirs aren't? Your brain evolved for survival in small tribes. In those environments, attention was safety, judgment was danger, and belonging was life. So your nervous system learned to ask, am I being watched? Am I accepted? That ancient alarm system is still running, even though the environment has changed. Now the threat isn't exile, it's embarrassment. Your brain doesn't know the difference. And online, the spotlight feels brighter. You imagine everyone reading, everyone interrupting, everyone interpreting, everyone judging. But most people are half scrolling, distracted, or projecting their own insecurities. You're not on stage, you're one tab among many. Anxiety itself is a hall of mirrors. You see reflections of yourself and assume they're eyes. They're not, they're just distortions. When you feel the spotlight, shift attention outward. Notice the colour of the walls, the tone of voices, the rhythm in the room. Presence dissolves self-consciousness. The spotlight fades when awareness expands. And here's the irony. The people who seem confident aren't thinking less about themselves. They're thinking less often. Confidence isn't certainty, it's absorption. Your mind is holding a torch. When it points inward, everything feels exposed. When it points outward, the world opens. The torch was never meant to blind you. And you're not being watched. You are being mirrored by people just as uncertain as you. The spotlight was never real. It was proximity, not importance. So if this episode has interested you, subscribe to the Vancrux Podcast, leave a review, comment, follow. And remember, freedom begins the moment you realise no one is auditing your life. And now for our sponsors. Strong Coffee Company, protein-packed coffee for energy and clarity. Use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at strongcoffeecompany.com. And then there's more labs, clinically proven hydration and recovery drinks. Use code Vancrux1 for 25% off at morelabs.com. And finally, liquor gummies, electrolytes and vitamins for hangover prevention and recovery. Use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at liquor.com. That's liquure.com.